but this is a map that you just saw it on your screen. ECSTATIC are up 6-1 in terms of recent games on Nuke. They're happy to play this this map, and this will not be easy. So we've seen some interesting vetoes where there can be a trap where if you're slightly comfortable on the map, you leave it all the way to the end, you end up playing it, and you get like Amcal playing on Overpass, which is like one of the funnier ones. Not really learning their lesson in that regard. But the Mongols, they are very good at prep. They come through with a plan. But this is their second game today, so there'll be a lot less than their first.
You know what they say with Amcal and Overpass, right? The 20th time's the charm. They're going to get there.
Yeah.
Nuke, ECSTATIC, Mongols, and the loser of this matchup going down to the always dreaded 0-2 stage in the opening day of the very first CS2 major. We are literally etching names into the very first pages of this game's history book tonight. Patty, gushed, dead. Nice clean opening on the ramp. And then we also get bLitz coming out from the squeaky door, so two fronts have fallen, both to the favor of Mongols. They go up into the Heaven wrap, but a bit of a stutter coming out from Heaven gives a great chance to Queenix. Good multi-kill potential, only gets the one. He's got Salazar over towards Hut. His support and Kraken comes out from Vent. They've got them funneled into the backside. One player, supportive, still up in Heaven, and obviously numbers advantage for Mongols. Pistol win on the T side of Nuke and a map that ECSTATIC are expected to be strong on. This has got the makings of an excellent start, and now it falls to Salazar, who we saw struggle to open the day. A great opportunity to clutch out, but it's that T who gets over to Hut that really seals the deal here. Getting a player off the backside, at that point, three-pronged hold, easy hold for the Mongols indeed.
You know, when you watch Kato at the beginning of the year, that's where I was just having doubts about this new lineup, where I was like, we saw some interesting stuff. I mean, we saw potential from mzinho, from Senzu, but like, we also saw nerves from those two players specifically, where I was like, okay, well, it's good that they have great individual talent, but now they're getting thrown into Katowice and then the major, you know what I mean? They're playing against the toughest competition with the most pressure. And they do a good job of like making sure they boot camp a lot and clear up an FPL on a Euro server, so they're getting good practice. But I would say, even though the Mongols have been present now as a story for over 2 years, that because their lineup is so new, with some players they're leaning on that are so young, maybe they aren't ready yet. We'll find out.
Queenix gonna get aggressive, nice coverage from mzinho, and down goes the ramp player. Nice pistol pop, but you play the same game one too many times. A walkout through the smoke gives away what was even. Now, look at that bomb, sitting, glaring at Patty, who would love some support. Salazar's still a little disconnected. And even though things got sketchy there because of the pressure from the pistols, it looks like ECSTATIC are going to continue to try and press their luck. And as they do so, they even this out. Lesser weapons, another 1v1, and Salazar comes in. Huge double kill. AK trying to bounce back. That Hut peaks predicted. 9-10 honed in on him, and one more bullet will get the job done. 9 in the mag, and he gets it sealed. Mongols recover a close one.
That was very close. Yeah, Salazar crossing over in the Hut made that a very dangerous situation. Actually, easily able to play in the 1v1, so well done, well handled. The day is saved. ECSTATIC will have to try again in the third. And it was the game earlier today for the Mongols. They played against Eternal Fire on Nuke. Of course, that's not going to be easy. They lost. They got trounced, actually. And you know that they came into this major expecting for Nuke to come up with their veto, so they won't have the excuse of, oh, we didn't get our map.
You know, we talk about the young players on Mongols and this kind of what feels like very constant rotating door of players from Mongolia. I was reading an interview with the team, and the questions were kind of like, how do you find all these people? Like, what's the process like in Mongolia to find new talent, right?
What was the interview with bLitz where he talked about the coach?
Yep, coach, and also the fact that there's a lot of just like this small LAN scene that's going on at internet cafes still within Mongolia, and that, you know, when you think about other regions, I feel like that's not the common story anymore. You know, that's the older tale of a pop-up like Zaiwu with his grandma at a LAN.
Only so many countries have a Launders LAN.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Mongolia lucky enough to have something similar. So it's just nice that, you know, again, we're talking about young players. What about the experience? What about the pressure? And these are all valid criticisms, but at least it's early LAN games.
Yes.
And it's LAN games with players who are going to international events versus the world's best.
I thought it was like the Mandela effect, where I could remember like a crowd in a Mongolian esports event and like watching Counter-Strike, and I was like, oh no, I'm crazy. Like, they don't have a scene out there, but there was a scene out there. They did fill up a small stadium. They do have a team that are, you know, carrying the banner for the country in a way that they can be proud of, and I think that very much makes sense.
And a team that carries that banner while constantly feeling like they're on the brink of breaking into a new level.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like they're so close. And then maybe this little roster shuffle that keeps happening now and again is like, ooh, is that a step back? Now you've got to give them X amount of time to gain X amount of experience. But when it clicks, it is going to click in a way that we all hope, I think, just as a community of Counter-Strike, where we want the best of the Asian region. And it's great that they can step forward and be the best representative that we've had in years.
No doubt, no doubt. And it just goes to show as well that, like, a region can be activated at any time. You know, you never know.
Never see it coming.
Mongolia's got to be the last country that you would think of in the Asian region that would be like the strongest, or would be able to put together one of the best teams. So that goes to show what, you know, a local scene can do, what one good IGL can do, what a good organization can do, and why you should keep on trying, keep on believing.
Just one good chess grandmaster.
That's all you need. Well, he's a master specifically.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Not an international master, but above 2K rating over the board in all 3 categories, okay? So
big. First gun round, we get the pressure backside A. Smoke to put out the util pressure. Salazar with the op shot. Nice opening pick here, keeping everybody healthy. Rotations down to B with support, so it's not like you're running alone. There's no panic, but there is a nice chase coming in from Secret. We've got 3 CTs downstairs and a clean headshot from Senzu. Second youngest player on the team, and he gets his 1, but it's traded back to the 4v4.
Very interesting position right now, because we see that the trades go down, and you got to think for the CTs, they're wondering, is it going to be a split up into heaven, or are they going to continue from ramp to lower? Kragen's got an off angle. This should work, right? Shadow advantage, yeah.
Plays it excellently, lets the second player in to try and get him. Blitz the last man up in this 1v4, and he'll find a kill. But it's a daunting task to get to either bomb site from this point. 30 seconds to try and piece together something excellent.
Yeah, he pretty much created an exit for himself with that frag. I don't know. Blitz was the top fragger versus Eternal Fire. I mean, something that we expect. You know, he can pull off a 1v4. He can top frag regularly. But I think that his hiring practices have indicated that he's been trying to create a team that's going to be better than him on an individual level.
Okay.
He's looking for younger players. He's using players who are uncut gems. They have insane raw talent. They have really good aim. And I mean, literally, like, it feels like as soon as they're like 20 years old, he's like going to find someone younger who's got better aim, who's got, you know, maybe better, sort of more malleable for his system.
Sure.
And I guess, yeah, my only criticism would be if he can't prove with this lineup that it's going to work, that maybe give him a couple extra years.
Right.
You know, 22 is not too old, especially for a CS player to keep learning, to be fresh. And I have questions about why they made their roster moves in the past. Like, why did they get rid of Score? You know, like,
fair.
We still don't really have answers to those questions.
And that's, you know, that's one of my favorite things actually about the team is this mystery that they're kind of shrouded in, right?
Yeah.
Even when they come to our events, right? One of the dramas back at Cologne was in like Katie and Heroic at the time when they had that little beef. It's like, oh, they don't, you know, they don't actually.
They're not emotive.
They're not emotive. They don't hang out with the rest of us. It's
like, hey, there's a different culture for you,
bro,
Katie.
on the other side of the world. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to see. I would say here in Copenhagen right now, the team of Mongols, like the extended staff for the organization, feels like the blood's thick right now. Big gang rolling through in Copenhagen, and maybe that's because they're here to do some damage. But what I loved in this last round is a very early B-site rotation from ECSTATIC, not afraid to get down before things go south. We saw those 3 defenders holding off by vents, works out perfectly. 1 survives with his gun. A little bit weird in the vents. I don't suggest standing on your enemies. And now the wall of smokes goes up at the minute 15 mark. So again, there's this question mark about what's going on in Secret, but we saw ECSTATIC deal with this wonderfully just 1 round to go.
He didn't crouch the cross in the middle of those 2 smokes, so that was understood, even though he couldn't hear it. That They have scared them into believing in a rotation coming lower.
Oh.
What a snap from Nodius. That was just beautiful. He's looking for another, inching forward into his next fight. Are they going to face him? That was the question.
They hold. They wait.
And he's coming instead.
Love it. Oh, didn't go all the way, but gets a smoke. Perfect. Now it forces them through. mzinho comes in. Nice entry frag. The support is here just by the ramp door. Patty holding off towards double. Little spray and gets away with it, right? Hangs onto that 4 versus 2. Bomb's gonna go down on the Astralis side. 30 seconds to the clock at this. Backside coverage goes down. Salazar pushing it all onto the planter. So 9-10, what are you made of? A flank that is fantastic and the pieces of ECSTATIC in the perfect position to hold back.
Yeah, lovely. That's overall super strong by them. The rotations downstairs have been pretty immaculate. I mean, I'm sure there's a piece of Mongols right now. They're like, man, why do we have to get such a strong Nuke team? Like, maybe ECSTATIC are not strong in the challenger stage, comparatively speaking, but on this map, they do get a buff. So, you know, they really have a lot to prove here, Mongols, when it comes to showing that they can hang on this map, especially if you end the day going down 0-2, you knew you were going to come in playing versus Eternal Fire on Nuke, then you wanted to play it again, despite that being fresh game tape for your opponent, and you still lose.
You get what you wanted.
Then there will be real criticisms for the team to think about. But 3 rounds T side is not a bad start, definitely. It's actually important for ECSTATIC here to just try to put a gap in rounds. They want someone to be proud of here in the first half.
Force coming out of the Mongols and some very early B pressure into the ramp. They'll go. It's held back by Patty. We get Senzu and mzinho with a chance to go downstairs if they need it. Kragan on the rotate.
Again, snappy rotations downstairs. They don't panic. They've actually got Josh for lobby control in the perfect timing. If they came in later in this situation, they could be scared that the Mongols go backwards, but it's the perfect example of when it's actually safe to push and you get map control, which future-proofs your round.
Little pressure on the Opper. Salazar not in a position to panic. Just stay alive. If they come through it, you can hold it back. A minute on the clock, 2 defenders downstairs. One of them right here by Dark, but the Molotov. Oh, the timing there on the nade. And Kragan didn't get the angle. Now all of a sudden they're in this bomb site with cover on the smoke. A 2v4 where Mongols have been able to pressure in. Frag grenade pops the smoke, doesn't stop the plant. Opper comes wide, misses his shot. Now he's gonna get pushed by Senzu. Blindsides him. Equaled out to the 2v2, and Mongols have somehow finagled themselves into a fantastic chance. The rifle work is clean, and they just slipped through that perfect moment to put this bomb down on B. Kragan has to plant. He was here early, didn't stop them, and they don't get a single kill. Phenomenal 2v4.
A big mistake, not watching your back door there on the ramp. Senzu takes advantage of that push, and they had to make something happen. They had no space in a 2v3, trying to get the bomb down lower versus a team that has been rotating correctly. All of this spray down wasted from Patty because the jump comes out from Nodius. He can't even delay for time in that moment. He could have stuck it out for at least 4 more seconds, and they could have gotten into control side and made it so that there was no way to plant.
And a testament to the young guns.
Yeah.
2 youngest players side by side in the 2v4, and they show you what they've got.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest test for the young players, is mid-rounding. That situation is not bLitz, who's probably not holding your hand.
But you know he's nodding in approval. Valuable round to pick up there. That was a force buy as well to the Mongols. They had lesser to work with. We saw the pace that comes out because of it. They wanted to get something early, and all they get's a 2v4. Still enough to work. Nice trade off the top of main.
Every single round, Secret comes for free.
But it does elicit an early rotate, right? Salazar down again. This time gets his one. We saw him fall back into hell last round. Just kind of waited. Now he's given it a second chance, and he's going to nail both those shots. Good op work from Salazar. Patty finds Senzu, and this one for the Mongols seems to have fallen apart at the seams. If not for that 2v4, different story, but a nice response out of the Danes.
It's very close, obviously, with the rounds going back and forth. I mean, it's great CS being played in the rounds by the teams who win each time, but no consistent pattern, no momentum being built here for either squad. But at least the one thing they clue into, as you pointed out, is that when it's Secret every single round, the rotations have been good at the same time for the CT side. Mongols will go on to their first attack pause of the game. Say, how do we get 2 in a row in a situation where we can win 1 and make it look dominant? I mean, there was a point for Na'Vi in like 2021 where Electronic just every single round was going to get secret control. And then whether or not the round opened up because of him, they would take secret no matter what because they're so good at getting it. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to get a piece of map control and you can get the secret, why wouldn't you? You know, if you could spawn on the map and have secret control, of course you would take it. So if ECSTATIC are not going to put people to start there, drop Ben at the beginning of the round, or do an early rotation, or double up down ramp, or play outside control, then yeah, you should use it against them. But they still have to know how to close out because you can't plant the bomb in secret.
Let's see if they go numbers strong on A. Haven't seen that just all-out flood, right? We saw some pressure towards ramp last time they were on this awkward of a buy, and the numbers are poised for that hut hit. Kragan versus bLitz could be essential to the outer fight. Nice pickup from Salazar as 9-10 just creeps around into the trophy room. And then they also get that deep anchor, right? Not just an opper on a passive angle. Patty could have continued to press or even just hold there, but he'll go more passive, play it back in ramp, make sure he doesn't get in that range of lethality for the pistols. Mongols taking their sweet time, but they start to disassemble on A. A drop off of the silos. Easy pickup from the opper outer. Kragan top hut. Missed shots at first, but a good recovery. Still, that AK comes out. mzinho's got a second chance, then put down by Salazar. A flood out from heaven. Senzu could run this bomb down ramp.
I don't know about that. They still got the open ramp rotation, or sorry, vent rotation downstairs. So
take it back upper.
At least he gets them to fan out.
You take this back upper, you've got a shot versus an opper, and an opper who may push into hut, giving you away that A site.
Okay, well, he got the rotations he's looking for. As you pointed out, the op's not going to come fight this plant if he decides to dive down. Oh,
right?
Maybe there is the chance, obviously.
But I'll say it again, ECSTATIC, super proactive.
Very proactive.
Immediately down to B, immediately recognizing maybe not. Everybody's in place. You give support to the opper as the vent player comes back up, and all goes well. You keep 3 alive, you keep this game as close as possible.
Again, they could be a roster placated by the result of qualifying to this major, but as we saw earlier today, they could stage big comebacks. They're not scared of playing against good teams. They could survive daunting score lines, so they have fight.
Got the Senzu Zeus. Flying over main with the Zeus out. Let's see it. A little too far. You catch somebody closed door, maybe. Nice dig from Techno up top. That's pressure back on main again. Nodios having to pick up the slack. Leave it to Mongols to try and milk this round for everything that it's worth. You know, they're no strangers to also fighting for big games.
Yeah.
No strangers to coming into rounds. I feel like Mongols aren't a team that waste their ecos either, right? Ideas from start to finish in maps.
Yes.
But obviously working with a glass half full, down go the majority. Doesn't look like any extra kills will come out. 9-10 hits the dink.
I definitely think the chest angle is real. I was talking to FM Pona in one of my recent videos because he made Thera, obviously, a CS2 map. You guys can check it out on the
Santorini CS2.
On the workshop, yeah. And he was saying that part of the way he's designing maps now is based on him and getting better at chess. He's been thinking about map control based on how he plays chess. And, you know, putting a rook on the file or whatever the, you know, sort of move is to gain positional dominance. And that's why I always talk about bLitz as a chess player who's playing CS. I mean, you could look at CS as real-time chess. Of course, you play it just like chess, then you're going to be too stiff and you're going to lose rounds you should win. But if you ignore all the analogies, then you're missing out because this game is about positioning. And when it comes to having a plan on the eco, yes, bLitz can squeeze out every little ounce.
Good duel. bLitz doesn't look down. Kragan misses his chance, and then the coverage is great from Senzu. Over the top of Silo, the double kill. I mean, that could have gone either way.
Oh, yeah.
But that flashbang was great the first time. So great that bLitz doesn't even clear close because he's blind for that long.
And you see there was just more than one layer there. Even if he died, they had one on top silo, they had trade potential. Option coverage was good.
You know, we've seen Mongols steal back at 2 versus 4.
There needs to be more pressure on this outside cross. The Molly's always late. They aren't spamming on the cross on any timings. And so, again, if Mongols are going to be given secret, why would you ever turn down this gift?
This time we don't get that lower rotation, right? With lesser numbers, it's Queenix to come out late from bottom ramp. He is now outside of windows. Usually we're talking about an ECSTATIC that's lost secret, but has vents, has control stairs. This is going to be one of the more desperate B-holds unless Nodios' flank can come through with the right timing. And if he hits this to a T, if he finds backs turned, or if in sight we get a double, then it is right back into the realm of possibility.
Time is good here for Nodios.
3v5 queued up. Senzu picks up bomb, plants on the right side, but the M4's getting closer, and the support goes down 15 to the clock. Senzu comes off of the bomb plant, into the vents, predicted, but Techno gets that kill, the needed one. 12 frags for Salazar, 2 more. And Senzu, no coverage from this plant, but he goes beneath it and making a ton of sound. Salazar just puts himself on a silver platter.
Yeah, he didn't know that it was the Astralis plant, and he obviously could have stopped that bomb, but got very nervous thinking it was going to be covered from control. Never came through, and the 1v2 doesn't come out. That was a great play from Queenix. I especially love the disengage. You know, he came in and he got that kill, and he could have just decided, I need to hunt the bomb as well. But he said, hey, we've actually now gained an advantage. Planner's scared. Let's see if we can get Mongols to react. And of course, it comes down to that vent player getting that kill.
I'm not surprised Salazar still thinks he's control side, because it's Techno getting the kill from control side vent and then going to decon to cover Astralis plant.
Right, which is not, doesn't even
that timing left a huge chance for Salazar to push, and that's why he's thinking it's got to be control, but falls victim to it, back into the gun rounds, immediately out onto the A play. Senzu's gotten past the hut. Another player back sight, holds off. Queenix, he turned! That second to mzinho had to have been clean. And again, it's a faster pace from Mongols as we get into the final rounds of this half, burning out the player towards sight. Senzu wants blood. He's got Queenix stranded and low. He's got Patsy committed to the support. How do you get this A site pulled apart? 910 comes out from Squeaky, clips one. But then there's that vent player, and Kragen's got him against the wall, exactly where he wants him. Can't fight his way out of it, and so Senzu put into another outnumbered clutch.
Yeah, I mean, 910 got something, couldn't pull back. And that's a situation where like Queenix in that last round did do good, just disengage. 910 just got closed off, eventually died. Was no way for Senzu to support. No way to continue scaling upstairs. And the double opposite vent, okay.
You think this could go poorly? Double vent, one spray down?
No, I'm just saying that because it's sweaty, okay?
All right.
I know it's a major. I know they're Danish. I know we're in Copenhagen, but it's sweaty. Okay?
Insta-kill, nicely done from Queenix there. We have got to see that backside flick.
Yeah.
Because he's getting wrapped by a second player silo.
He's got good aim, man.
How he holds on to that A site, I do not know.
That's a good search from Kragen as well.
We saw the shadow. You see the shadow of the second player, maybe making footsteps, but still fast reaction.
Damn, that's nice, yeah. Fast reaction right to the dome.
Puts that crosshair right between the eyes. Guarantees ECSTATIC a 6-round CT half.
Yeah, it's been a great half so far. Like lots of fight out of Mongols. ECSTATIC in the lead mains, this game is like relatively even. Getting their CT rounds.
Of the teams in the 0-1 pool,
yeah,
these are two of my favorite.
Yeah.
And they're playing a quality of Counter-Strike.
I'm gonna tell Glaive you said that. Okay.
Oh, wait, I mean,
I'm gonna tell Art you said that.
Okay. Flash out from hut. They're gonna pressure A again. They've found spacing here in the last few rounds, but in the face of the rifles, they're just gonna get churned. Mongols looking like 5 is max. Little walkout from Garage, and this one just collapses all around them. This is a CT side that ECSTATIC can be proud of. It's another map where you start a little slower, but you claw back what you can. 2-round lead after the defense of Nuke.
I really liked what we saw from ECSTATIC. I don't know. I think not that I expected less, but I expected a few more mistakes maybe. Didn't really have any. Looks super clean. And again, watching their Ancient game earlier today, very impressed almost all the way through. Of course, I tuned in right when the comeback started, so rose-tinted glasses maybe a little bit. But the same can be said for Mongols. This is a T side they can be proud of. 5 rounds is very solid. This game is far from over. And I don't think everything rests on the pistol, even though the pistol is always important.
Just a good half of Counter-Strike and a second one to be queued up, right?
Yeah.
You never know when a second half is going to collapse, though. Let's be real, right? Amcal earlier today had a great T-side on overpass, which is what we had to see them fix, specifically on that map. And you think, hoorah, it's the marked improvement they needed to justify, and the CT side sucks. Like, you never know when it's going to collapse. So let's hold on. Let's see how Pistol goes, whether it extends that lead for ECSTATIC. They go right back into the action here. Super fast upper hit. Senzu and Techno tapping into the heads. It is a flawless, near flawless USP massacre on that A site.
Yeah, that was bellissimo here, okay, right? There's basically all headshots, almost no answers back whatsoever. The craziest part of the Mongols just never react.
Bro, you wanted a fight? You got it.
Yeah.
You want to rush? You get a hold. And it's that second Hut, it's the Heaven player, right? Hut's blind, backsights preoccupying everyone's attention. Heaven gets to just clip off a few. And Mongols get exactly what they want to try and shove themselves into the driver's seat of this best of one.
I wonder if Clave feels like he has any kind of like ancestral connection to ECSTATIC, or if he's cheering for them, or...
I feel like every Dane who's not at the major is. So the Dane who is at the major should be too. Danes are proud. They're a proud people.
Until they have to play against each other.
You know, they're a proud people. There's no doubt in my mind that Clave's cheering.
Does have his own problems to worry about. We're going to be casting his game a little bit later.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Actually, he's not thinking about them at all.
No, because he's like, if I make it through, I can be happy for them.
Yeah.
So let's focus on me,
So, screw ECSTATIC. I don't want to go 0-2.
This changed up fast.
First gun round out of the T side. They didn't come in with anything in the round prior. That's why it gets closed in on. See if this defense is rock solid out of Mongols, right? Said they have to show us something promising, seeing as they go into 2 best of ones on Nuke. You've been waiting for this major to start. You cleaned a house at the Asian RMR. Time to step it up.
Yeah, they pretty much got flattened in the second half versus Eternal Fire and mzinho. Oh, awkward timing. He drops his molly. Out of panic, can he come back in for this Fama shot? No, he's gifted a lifeline, gets away.
Almost felt like he was of 2 minds, right? Could have left sooner, could have played it safer, still got out when he was given that second chance to depart.
What a tricky setup. The 2 at the bottom of Heaven. One's spamming in the back. Oh my god, it works! It works a bit. A good reaction here from Nodius.
Oh man.
That was
confident.
Crazy gimmick right there. Doubling up in Heaven.
Senzu's in a smoke, checking his teammates' screens. mzinho gets Nodios elsewhere. Look at this, you're in the pack of players. The smoke fades and you just get consumed by what's left of ECSTATIC, but knife out through the vent, and Techno dances on top of their bodies.
Wow.
A slaughter in the vents.
Yeah, he's in the club right there jamming. That was nice. What a spray down from Techno. And they ran out knife out because they thought, no way there's going to be, it's not going to be anyone lower. They just pushed us inside of the ramp. Like, no moves are going to be made lower. They know we're not going to drop down that quickly, but should they have been worried about it? Maybe a little bit more than this. And that will be a little egg on their face, because that's a situation where they had the time, and if they had their guns out, they would have had a more fair fight.
So Mongols take the lead. ECSTATIC take Tech-9s into this one with grenades into an immediate wall of smoke outside. And what's looking like a 2-player rooftop execution to get the 3 beneath out onto site. Patty back turn, but his Molotov gets revenge. No multi-frag for Techno on the reload. Oh. Nice push out of Kragan, perfectly timed. That Senzu Heaven support again, but now you're talking about an M4 over towards main. And a distraction served up from Nodios that's costly. Down he goes, all gets cleaned up, majority alive for the Mongols.
They had to reassess that situation instead of just shoulder peeking from Squeaky. You're not gonna kill the guys coming out of Heaven that way with your Tech-9, but that would have made it a longer round. But it was worth their time to think about it. They had outside player. They could have gone back towards ramp in the 2v2. But maybe they thought, let's get it over with. They can buy up right now after their tech pause. They try to defend against double digits here. Maybe they're boring to the Mongols. Maybe they're just wondering why this game is so easy now. That would be the horrifying thing. You play against a team like the Mongols, and they obviously keep their emotions to themselves, right? And it reminded me of that James interview where he said, I don't feel like it's right after a game to celebrate too much and then go over to the other team and pretend I'm sad for them when I shake their hand. He said he thinks that's fake. And that's such a good justification when you think about it. Obviously, if that was me, I mean, I would obviously be two-faced instantly and just like scream after the match and then, pretend I was sad.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but Mongols have that exact same
That mantra.
Yeah, they are. I feel philosophically so similar to James and what they've got going over there in Virtus Pro.
All the guns they can gather. CT side that is yet to show weakness. The knee will not bend. Unless ECSTATIC can kick it out. You know what, I'd say already we saw Mongols right out of the gate of their T side, conditioning with that secret play, ECSTATIC a little bit less repetition in the T side we've seen. Their upper hit gets wrecked. Their vent drop gets stuffed. Mongols were clawing back 2 versus 4s, and ECSTATIC can't even open the door yet. We're gonna go for the ramp boost. This allows another set of eyes to go down. We get 9-10 coming with the op towards secret. And just a little bit more pressure, right?
Oh my god!
Look at the power of the pressure!
Yo!
Senzu with the Tech 9 through it. We didn't get spam out of ECSTATIC, we got rotations.
Yes.
In this instance, even before the Opper has to do anything, you're down to 3 players alive and 2 of them on half health. And then the rotator, who's been down here confidently holding, comes up with the kill. And the secret pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Huge pressure out of Mongols here in round 17.
And that's not the sloppiness that we saw out of the Mongols. The impatience that we're seeing out of ECSTATIC, unfortunately. This one was maybe a little bit lazy, but it was also full credit. Look at the bodies on display here, stacked on top of each other outside. Mongols had the perfect angle. Senzu, that was a beautiful play. Donk-esque. On the smoke spam on the cross, but yes, that was the most glaring part, I think, about the first half was you have standard cross smokes every round out of the Mongols, and then they get a standard cross, and they take no damage. Molly's too late. No nades across the smoke. No spams like this. Ammo is free, guys. Make sure you use it, and this is a good lesson, I think, to learn, but maybe not one you want to learn at the major.
Of course.
So let's see if Mongols can continue to take advantage of the situation. And again, they're looking for redemption on their nuke. They're finding it right now.
Not a lesson you want to learn at the major on the road down to 0-2.
Yeah.
One rough first day, and you will face elimination with your dreams on the line and the pressure of your country on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's a big chance for ECSTATIC to make a ton of new fans at a major where, like, you know, we have one player from 2018 Astralis who have made it. So there's a chance just to soak up a lot of attention and from your region. And yeah, getting through the RMR is great, but I mean, this is where the big number of viewers is going to be in the opening stage of the major, looking for who's going to become a legend. Who are the new stories in Denmark? ECSTATIC are trying to prove that it's them.
I mean, let's be honest, right? The RMR is important. We've been celebrating it for a month now. The reality is the event starts now.
Yeah.
And for ECSTATIC, it could end tomorrow. Techno top hut. Flash pressure's good for the player backside. Tech 9 starting to get out here. Crossfire from main. That heaven support, and bLitz just gets one out from main through smoke. A snapshot over that doesn't connect. mzinho's gonna try to put himself into the ring, and he goes down, but here comes bLitz. Pressure through smoke in 3 instances, and ECSTATIC will chew that up.
They wanted a brawl right there. Like, clearly, Mongols were happy to fight every single way that they could, coming through the smoke, up into heaven, pushing in at the same time. But good for ECSTATIC, they stayed aware.
They're first.
They're first on T-side, yeah, so. And yeah, we could see, you know, not exactly opulent here with the Tech 9s in play, but the shots are good, and again, the awareness was good. There was a few situations where Mongols, one player pushes through 2K, instantly ECSTATIC don't have the site anymore, so good for them. There's a chance. 8 rounds now, T side. Their first T rounds. Time to look alive. CT side was great, but we're not playing that side anymore.
Gap on the smoke.
This is
Gap
free,
on
right?
the smoke.
Hello.
Over main. Great catch. Queenix goes flying into bLitz just as he's about to be presented targets. I mean, he's staring at that gap on the smoke like it's a freebie. 2 players close, and Kragan just stuffs him. But there's another one. He shoots him in the back. Oh, and the pistol swap. 9-10 with the recovery Mongols need.
He jumped over the bullet like it was a rope.
Oh, and then he goes down lower, picks up a third. He has done everything to keep Mongols in this round. You are getting swarmed in hell while your teammates get stuffed, and you have put your teammates back in position with man advantage, kits, smoke, flashes for the retake. This is 9-10 to keep Mongols in this advantage. And at the moment, ECSTATIC are split. Nodios comes out, looking towards Secret, finds his duel, and wins it with ease.
Excellent timing and a great position here for Patty, but he's going to get nervous now.
No way, they cross!
Wow, but it still works out for him. Wait.
Second CT on top of the bomb, just dropped, lost his angle. Techno, how do you get out of this? Techno, what do? He's stuck on top of the bomb. They're going to pressure. He gets the kill through door. A gift from God for ECSTATIC. Yeah. That cross out of ramp is insane.
Yeah, that was a very small window of timing that could have happened. As the smoke was fading, it was being phased into being out of view. And it started with this situation right here. So we see that Mongols, they do play, again, like to bring up the chess analogy, positionally they play very smart, but they also are willing to take risks. And they leave gaps. We see that there is a timing over top of Silo at the beginning of the round where bLitz is trying to spam the cross down. They counter him in that position, so that's a feather in the cap of ECSTATIC. And another tack pause out of Mongols, as I think some respect has been earned here. It was a close situation where Mongols showed some X factor to bring back the round. Not really, great positional play. That was the op of 9-10 going off to make that possible. But until that point, ECSTATIC had a great call, great execution, and nearly destroyed that round. No questions asked. But man advantage all the way up until the very end. And now, a first and second round and back-to-back T rounds for ECSTATIC. And what's the reward? A pretty busted buy here from the Mongols. This has been a great game so far, and it seems like the second half is delivering just as much as the first. Tie-up potential is real.
A late response from ECSTATIC as well, right? Because it was feeling like that CT side could have swept them out of the game and washed them away to the 0-2 pool. bLitz, though, MP9 kickoff.
What in the hell?
Ends up finding a first frag. One of the lesser weapons. That could be a rifle picked up for the 5.7 or the USP. They pop open the wall of smokes, but that doesn't stop the 2 and now 3 players from getting lower. But that MP9...
That's so smart, bLitz. That early smoke, it's preemptive. I think they don't even hear this cross, but they're sure about it.
Oh, the spam. He actually gets out better off. They're going to try to press that. He does a bit more damage, and they're assuming that they can't put another set of feet inside of that site. The uppercut on rotation, but the M4 down low. Patty almost dead. Queenix recovers, but the flank is on him again. Senzu's coming in.
He's coming to check it.
Big duel if there's anything left, but an instant headshot from Queenix, and ECSTATIC keep this tight.
He's a sharp shooter, man. That's crosshair placement. 101 out of Queenix. Seems like right when he's never having to adjust even. Right on the dome.
I like that they chased him through that smoke.
Yeah.
You're going to fall away from a reloading MP9 when you're 3 versus 1 on site?
Not after that MP9 kill came down.
Chase him down.
Yes, he's not too far either, so I agree, 100%. Good use of the new CS2 mechanics on display. I can't stop talking about how much it's made the meta so much more fun in CS2.
And now your reward. Pistols for Mongols. A lead on the line for ECSTATIC as a late response on the T side of Nuke invigorates their hopes. That last round is big. They lose squeaky control as they forego everything in lobby. It's just Nodios tasked with holding out any crazy push, but still a lack of information for the Mongols because of that hell smoke, right? Is it secret to B? Could it be this outer wrap? No matter where it goes, what the hell's 9-10 gonna do? USP in hand.
Is this anti-eco going to be cleaner than the last one? I mean, Mongols been fighting every step of the way. Well, let's go ahead and find out. Timing on the peak, they'll at least lock down one frag. They've got him quarantined right now, 9-10. Prepped in decon to get swung, and all his job is to delay as long as possible.
He uses the sink to block the most of that damage. You know he's in there. He comes through with the dink, but I mean, options limited.
All right, now they see the lobby has been pushed. bLitz takes a chunk.
Oh,
actually
gets the kill.
Gets a chunk back.
Nice follow through from Salazar.
That's his pound of flesh.
Puts the Glock in the mix and gets away with it.
Interesting situation. The plan is secured. Still 3 CTs alive, but not in a position to just like jump in.
Just a great chance to do a bit more damage. Keep him on top of the bomb. Try to blow him up.
Ooh.
It is a foregone conclusion. This is ECSTATIC with a lead.
And 4 rounds now, T-side, in a row. Their first round win was the upper explosion that took place. Mongols, are you getting nervous? They lost that one to a combination of Tech 9s and rifles, and that could have been fine. Lots of chances to play since then, but again, ECSTATIC have not been intimidated by round scores.
Oh, he's healthy.
This would be a tough one to swallow. Mongols don't close out now. They got CT side. Thinking about a fast mover just feigning an exec to draw out utility versus a nervous team. It seems like the latter. CT's staying patient though. mzinho on the shoulder spot.
They try to swarm him.
Wait,
man,
whoa.
What? A little crazy from Patty. They put the fire out, and that's an easy second kill for mzinho.
Yikes.
Tech 9.
No. 9-10 gives him that.
Pushed up against it. It's all good. No pistol needed. Gets counterpicked. It's a bit of a gift from both directions.
It is, yes. It's getting messy, and you know why. It's 11-10. Anything can happen at this point. 3v4 maybe matters, but can Mongols abuse it? Double CT push, but they're waiting for the late CT aggression, and Kragan gets one. He could sense, maybe smell that there's going to be a second guy. This gets dangerous for Techno. He comes forward instead.
Yeah, he's making his move.
They're going up into heaven, though, and he can just hold on to lobby. He is now not the aggressor. Kragan waiting. Oh, and he punishes. That's beautiful.
2 huge kills, but what about the third one? What about mzinho? He gets mollied off.
Yeah.
Kragan has done such a good job of locking down this site, all while that hell to heaven wrap comes out.
Yep.
It's going to be retake needed or concede a 12th. mzinho's still close enough to the bomb site that you know he's thinking about it. He's got the support here of bLitz. They've got one locked in behind close hut box. The backside player's an excellent anchor, and then
they just have the perfect setup for
it's all good.
Yeah, these two players cannot aggress. Playing Tetris with heaven and backside is optimal.
Kragan is the man.
What a play out of Kragan. You know, the awareness, obviously, the aim was obviously a big part right there. Staying calm in a 3-on-4 situation when his 2 teammates have left him to go on a kind of a scout mission to figure out what site they want to go to. He's going to be the lurker, right? If it's going to be a lower hit, he's going to be part of the attack if it's an upper hit. He has to stay versatile and clear out Squeaky. A lot harder to juggle that responsibility than you would think, and he did a fantastic job with it. And he didn't even know about Techno, by the way. Totally silent.
Yep. Very nicely done from Kragan. And then that Molotov, that's just insult to injury. You've got a third player coming for him, and you get mollied off. No chance.
We're talking about Mongols maybe going into 0-2 on the first day. Imagine. And they got, you know, it's not like they got one of the hardest draws in 0-1, you know. This could have been an Ents game. This could have been a Furia game. Who knows? But that's also not to discount ECSTATIC, because what are we watching? Great CS out of them.
Yes.
They have made a couple of mistakes. And I honestly thought in the second half, Mongols are going to come back all the way through.
And composure.
Yeah.
Down 0-6 versus Cloud9.
Right.
Down, what, 4 or 5 rounds at the start of this T-side with no response. Then you get your foot in the door one time. You make the most of it. You break their money. And now you've got 2 map points against them. 2 match points against them in this BO1.
Yep.
Mongols who swept away their regional competition, who were coming into this major considered hotter than ever, have gotten 2 maps of Nuke today.
It's where they wanted to be.
They made their bed. They may be going to sleep on day 1 of the Copenhagen major. with heads in their hands. It's an attack into the A site. Wonderful split. Kraken again is the man. Him and Queenix, they just tear out this bomb site. No wasted time, no wasted chance. Push from the M4. It's damage. Kraken got tagged. The Op missed the shot. He's between them both. And as they have him pinched behind the vent, he's fighting, but he falls. And ECSTATIC will win this best of one. A 1-1 record to kick it off in Copenhagen. Our Danish representatives pull through.
They do, man. That's actually an overall pretty impressive day. They got damn close to being able to take out Cloud9 into winning a game versus the Mongols. And I think a lot of people